What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be going over and ranking our top 10 offensive linemen right now in college football 25 Ultimate Team. Now, I do want to say the offensive lineman position is one where, you know what, you don't need all of the top guys. Like, genuinely, you can build an offensive line of a lot of these budget guys that can go out there and play nearly just as good as some of the guys that I will talk about on this list. So just kind of want you guys to know and realize a lot of the guys that I'm going to bring up are insanely expensive, but you do not need these top level guys to have a good offensive line. Now, as we do dive into this, please smash that subscribe button. I'm going to start off with Diego Pounds. Now, the reason I like Diego Pounds the most is he's got a 95 strength rating. I really like that out of Diego Pounds. Better pass blocker than run blocker, but just an overall solid offensive lineman on this game. Not an offensive lineman that I mean, to me is going to be a problem whatsoever. Good strength, good pass blocker, but run blocking, he's fine as well. Now, low 90 stats aren't necessarily ideal, but they're just fine. And when I've, seen this Diego Pounds card, I like him. Problem is, we've just got better tackles on this game at this stage. So Diego Pounds to me is fine, especially if you like to throw the football. That's where Diego Pounds is absolutely going to be at his best. It's just, to me, at this stage, I think we've got better offensive tackles in the game, including not Cage Casey. I don't love him, although he is my tackle because he is a B&D. I like King Large a ton. I like him a lot. Now, why do I like King Large so much? 94 strength, but look at the pass blocking stats. I mean, incredibly good pass blocker, but a better run blocker as well compared to Diego Pounds. And just as far as an overall left tackle, he's better side by side than Diego Pounds. Now, the problem is King Large is going to be more expensive, so the price definitely bears out and tells the whole story here. But King Large is a stud, guys. Definitely a left tackle that I do like quite a bit. The problem is, realistically, he's just not worth the price tag. Now, again, pass blocking, that's where he's going to be at his best, but run blocking really stout as well. King Large, an absolute beast on this game. Coming in at my number 8, we're playing in Steve Hutchinson. Our first card today that for his value, I actually like quite a bit. Now, the one thing about Steve Hutchinson is, again, I would look at this for every guy I talk about today, but are they a better run blocker or are they a better pass blocker? Steve Hutchinson is a slightly better run blocker than he is a pass protector. So if you like to run the football, Steve Hutchinson could be the perfect guard for you guys. Good strength at a 94. Not great, but good. Good run blocking stats. Solid pass blocker. And to me, I love all-around offensive linemen. And I think Steve Hutchinson is an all-around left guard. Now, again, if you like to throw the football, you probably can find better left guards, for you specifically. But if you like to mix it up, Steve Hutchinson is a great left guard for you and your specific squad. Coming in at my number 7, a guy that when I picked up for my squad, I didn't love, but as I've used him, is an absolute beast. It's Conor Colby. Now, yes, you can say, well, Ty, you're biased because you're an Iowa fan, and that may be true, but this card's a beast. He's got 94 strength, which is solid, not necessarily next level good, but solid. Pass blocking stats, incredibly good. Incredibly good. You look at the 95, 95, 94 as far as pass blocking. Run blocking, 89, 93, 91. Still not bad. But when I've used Conor Colby, guys, the card is a beast. I'm telling you. I don't know if it's like the high motor. I don't know if that matters whatsoever. If high motor matters or not. But I'm telling you right now, Conor Colby's a beast. So if high motor does matter, that's why I like Conor Colby. Because this card is an absolute stud on my specific offensive line. I don't know about you guys, but on my squad, he's a great offensive lineman. Now, again, since I've really noticed that for Conor Colby, maybe I need to start looking more into this high motor thing. Next up, at my number 6, I've got John Campbell Jr. 94 strength, solid pass blocker, but decent run blocker. So if you compare him to like Conor Colby, both cards are really good. I would say this, however, John Campbell, stat-wise, is the slightly more complete option. There's no real flaws in him. Again, as far as a run blocker, is better side-by-side compared to Conor Colby. The problem that I have with John Campbell Jr. is his price tag. I mean, his price tag is absolutely ridiculous in this game. You're spending 200,000 coins on a John Campbell Jr. card, which to me just seems absolutely ridiculous, absolutely crazy. But I like John Campbell Jr. I think he is a really solid right tackle for your specific squad. I will say, again, I apologize for using specific so much. People have been commenting it down below. I got to get better at it. But I will say this for John Campbell Jr. for me, I feel like the guard position is less complete than the tackle position. I feel like we've got a lot better tackles overall than we do guards. So that is something to think about for you guys. Next up at our number 5 is TJ Shanahan. You look at TJ Shanahan, you've got a complete right guard. Now, I don't even know if change of direction really matters for right guard, but he's got a 92. He's got a 94 strength. He's a good run blocker, a solid pass blocker. There's just no real flaws in him. And again, as far as his player traits, I don't think these matter. I don't know if I've ever got a holding call unless I've, changed my settings. And so I'm not too worried about the penalty. The high motor, I do think could possibly matter. But if you want a complete right guard, and this is what I'm talking about with complete guards, TJ Shanahan is exactly that, guys. Balanced across the board, average of a 93, blocking stats all across the board, which, again, is he a better pass blocker than run blocker? No, he's a better run blocker, but they're so close, and he is such a complete option that, to me, he's just a complete right guard. There's just no flaws whatsoever in TJ Shanahan, and honestly, if Conor Colby wasn't in the game, I would have him for my squad. What I honestly did was I just went and sat on the right guard filter and waited for a right guard to pick up for a price I wanted. That's how I decided who did make the squad, although I do think Shanahan is slightly better. At my number 4, we're plugging in Ronnie Stanley, another right tackle. Now, again, I talk about complete guards. Ronnie Stanley has 94 strength, 94 stats nearly across the board. There's just no flaws in Ronnie Stanley at all. I can't even find a flaw in this card. He's a good run blocker. He's a good pass blocker. I don't know what he's better at, but he's good at both. And just an absolute stud at that right tackle position. So if you are in need of a right tackle to add to your specific, to your squad, Ronnie Stanley is a solid option if you'd like to mix up the run and pass. Now, if you like to just strictly pass the ball or strictly run the ball, Ronnie Stanley is still fine, but you might be able to find a tackle that is better at one or the other. For me, I wish Ronnie Stanley's strength was slightly higher. A lot of these guys in my top 3, especially, who have that 95 strength. That is something for Ronnie Stanley. I wish was slightly better, but as far as the full picture for Ronnie Stanley, he is an absolute beast in college football 25 Ultimate Team. Just want to also make a side note, this card I'm not even going to be talking about why. I mean, I don't even know. He's not available in the auction house. I don't think I've played against him. I don't even know. I don't know anything about this card, so I'm not going to be including him because he's not even, he's not even gettable for you guys off the auction house. Next up at my number 3, we're plugging in Caden Kilter. I don't have this card at my center, but the difference between him at the center position and the next best center is massive. And so I want you guys to realize if you've got Caden Kilter, you've got the best center in the game by far. Now, I will say his change of direction, his speed, his acceleration all stink. But does that really matter for a center? I don't think so. He's got a great run blocking stats, great pass blocking stats. He's got 94 strength. He's a high motor center. Caden Kilter is a beast of a center on this game. I'm telling you that right now. You don't have to necessarily agree with me, but I'm telling you, the difference between Caden Kilter and your next best center in this game is massive. It's massive. So that's where I'm at with Caden Kilter. That's why he's so high, is because, at the center position, there's no centers that are even nearly as good as this card. An absolute stud at that center position that if you are looking for the best squad in the game, Caden Kilter has to be added to your squad. At my number 2, Kelvin Banks Jr. at the left tackle position, 200,000 coins. But if you spend that, you're getting the best left tackle in the game. And so is he worth that? Okay, I'll leave that up to you. I don't want to say he's worth it. Don't want to say he's not worth it. Again, that is totally up to you. But what I will say is this for Kelvin Banks Jr. If you like to throw the football, he is your left tackle. He is the best left tackle in the entire game. Now, if you like to run the ball as much as you like to throw the ball, there are better left tackles in the game. And that's as simple as I can say. It's as simple as I can say. If you like to run the ball, Kelvin Banks is not that good, but most people like to throw the ball more than they run the ball. And in that situation, Kelvin Banks Jr., you can't get better than him. Genuinely, if you like to throw the ball, let's say above 70% of the time, this is your best left tackle in the entire game and your second best overall offensive lineman that you can add to your squad right now. Coming in as my best offensive lineman right now in the game, not including Membu, is Joshua Gray. 122,000 coins for the best offensive lineman in the game. Seems like an absolute steal to me. I don't know about you guys, but pass blocking stats are ridiculous. Run blocking stats are good. He comes with a 95 strength rating, which matters a ton. And I know what you guys might be thinking. Really, Ty? His stats don't look that great. But I want you guys to look a little deeper, okay? Look at overall, as far as run blocking stats, they average a 91. Pass blocking stats, they average a 92. And he comes with a 95 strength rating. So he's a balanced left guard with a 95 strength that does it all on the field. You compare this guy to your next best left tackle, which was who? Steve Hutchinson, maybe Shanahan. I think Joshua Gray is the best. Now, maybe I'm biased because I've got Joshua Gray. Maybe I'm biased because he's a 95 overall that you can get for 122,000 coins. I don't know. But when I've used Joshua Gray, I really like the card. And so that's where I'm at with Gray. Again, I don't think there's a huge difference here in your top 10. All of these cards are extremely close. And as long as you got some of these guys on your offensive line or are grinding for some of these guys, I can't get super mad at you. Now, again, a lot of these budget guys are really solid as well. What I would really turn to is for any offensive lineman, figure out, do they fit what you want? Do you pass the ball? Do you run the ball more? What do you specifically do on the field more? And do the offensive lineman fit what you're trying to do? That's ultimately all you need to figure out for your squad. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.